All right, guys, this is a haul video, comic books and whatnot, and who knows what's going to pop up for the month of June 2016. Now, last week I did the live show where I went to Heroes Con. This is pretty much Heroes Con 2016 down in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is more or less what I've gotten throughout the month. It's kind of save money for Heroes Con. Let's get the usual flea markets and stuff that I hit every year. No biggie, because I got some great stuff down there this year. It was well worth waiting. But still stopped in a few places and got some odds and ends and stuff here, right? First of all, just to show this and get it out of the way, man, I am back in the game. I found an NES down here at the antique shop that is actually right around the corner from me. And I looked at it and was like, no, I'm not going to get it. Went to Heroes Con, talked to a friend, went back and got it. It was still there. So I got about, 4 or 5 games. Got Super Mario 3 in there right now. I've got my little TVs in here to play it on. Picked up a few games. They didn't have any games left. This one guy that owns a gaming store in Withville, he always acts like he's barely making it and stuff. Went in there and bought all the games. I remember the guy, whoever was selling this, had a ton of games in there, man. So no biggie. But I know a place over in Tazewell, Virginia that sells games, so I grabbed these sort of on the cheap. Gremlins 2, really fun game. Wizards and Warriors. I still need to clean this one. I know it works, but I just will feel better after I clean it. And Willow, pure nostalgia. This is based on that movie. I gotta get close now. It's based on that movie by that George Lucas dude. You ever heard of him stuff? But it was pretty good. Mad Mardigan and Willow and all that stuff. I don't recommend the game. It's pure nostalgia. It's one of those games that I have no idea how, when I was a kid, how I ended up playing it, because I know we didn't buy it, but never got around to beating it. So why not? So, there's that. Man, I think it was around 86 or 87 we got that Nintendo Entertainment System, and the Super Nintendo, I think, is underrated, because I remember really, really enjoying what they did with that there. So that's kind of cool. All right, stopped at a yard sale. Got this for like 50 cents, I think. It's The Who on DVD. I love The Who, so that was kind of cool to find. I haven't popped it open and watched it yet, but what's funny is that these people bought it, for $14.99. It's not a used copy, never been opened. So this is brand new that I got for 50 cents. Kind of cool. All right. So where are we at now? Show this. Went and saw my buddy Scott Connery yesterday on the way back from work. They had me driving really far. Parked my car, went driving around. He took me to the thrift shop in Blacksburg. They got some other stuff not worth like really showing in the hall. It doesn't have to do with all this stuff, but ended up getting for 50 cents Flash Gordon on VHS. I had this on DVD. I have the movie poster over there. You guys know, you longtime guys have been around for a while know about me and Flash Gordon in this movie. I absolutely love it. So it's kind of cool to, now have the VHS to go along with the Flash Gordon collection. Yeah. Yep, no mold in there or anything. Just a great copy. 1980 was when this thing came out. This VHS came out around 93. It's in great shape. Okay. Also picked this up before I get to the comics. Got this for $1. It's the Tolkien Companion. I went back and forth on whether to get this or not. But basically, it's just like an encyclopedia for the Lord of the Rings. So while you're reading the books or, watching the movie and stuff, everything in here is just in alphabetical order, characters and such, and just a little reference tool. That's kind of cool. I kind of digs that sometimes, Really interested in the ants. The walking trees and stuff. Okay. Picked up some free posters from a comic book shop. Work had me going out towards Bristol or something, and there's a pizza place I eat at. I get to eat lunch, and right across the street is the comic book shop. So I went in there, and he puts these posters out for free. Oh, that's a book I don't think I brought up here. Anyway, so there's one book missing or something like that. But basically, I got the movie poster for the Preacher TV show. So ended up getting that. Still haven't watched it. I'm going to let a whole bunch of them kind of add up there so I can get into watching them. And then here's another poster I got there. I grabbed 2 or 3 of these for some of my friends and stuff. So some of these might be the same as I open them and stuff. But I thought this one was really cool. And I know everybody's going up when these Marvel movies hits. You know, every of a sudden everybody's a fan and stuff like that. But check this out. Doctor Strange. Is that not cool? Oh, that's so cool. That is something that is very, very much well framing. And yes, that's his astral form there going. Very cool. Set that to the side. I will fold all this up later. All right. I think I got 2 or 3 of those. Yeah, that's another Doctor Strange poster. So I got 2. And yeah, I got 3 of those, right? So one of my friends is getting one. I have an extra here, and one's for me. So we'll see what happens. Really good stuff there, right? Now where I'm at. Now there's a place called Ollie's. Ollie's is sort of reminds me of a Big Lots. I'm trying to think of some other stores that kind of I can't think of the name of them. Always on the live chat, I'll go blank. But anyway, you know, they kind of get what's left over from other stores and they discount it and mark it down and stuff. Sometimes they have damaged goods and stuff. But this time I went in and I just grabbed a bunch of stuff. I had to do it. A couple of these were in different trips. So I'll just kind of put them all together here and stuff. But they have trades that are like brand new, and Ollie's has a fantastic book section if you go in there, hardbacks, just anything you want to do, and they're marked down pretty good. So here's some trades that I got for $2 a piece, brand new, $2 a piece. Okay, now I already have Danger Unlimited. This is the Dark Horse years, and say here I've got a message here. Sorry, on Facebook. But anyway, so I got this. You know, this is a fantastic trade of Danger Unlimited. This is a little something that John Byrne did in the 90s. But what is really cool about this trade is that it also puts both of his miniseries that he did of Babe. Okay, I don't want to spoil Babe to talk about her stuff, but basically there was 2 2-issue miniseries, and it also ties into Hellboy. The thing about this is that you had when Hellboy first kind of started, John Byrne was helping Mike Mignola with you know, the scripting. And then he just said, "You'll be fine." You know, he told him to go on and do it. You'll be fine. But when the Legends brand came out through Dark Horse back in the day, this was John Burns, Mike Allred, Frank Miller, Paul Chadwick. This was like their kind of answer to creator-owned properties due to Image, right? So when you read Danger Unlimited and you read Babe, it's actually loosely associated with the Hellboy universe because, you know, John Byrne and Mike Mignola, you know, were in there and stuff. And what was really cool about it is the Babe thing. I think it was Babe. And Danger Unlimited sort of kind of got the feeling they were taking things from the tabloids and making them real, like the alligators in the sewers of New York had actually evolved to where they were intelligent and stuff, and kind of got that feeling. So if you remember your trash magazines at the grocery store and stuff like that, but yeah, this Danger Unlimited, Torch of Liberty, and Babe, they all loosely fit into the Hellboy universe. Okay. So it was kind of cool for $2. The other thing I got for $2 is, again, Mike Mignola. I'm picking this up blind. I have no idea what it is. And what's so bad is that, not to get all in the gutter and stuff like that, but Jenny Finn, this name, I remember working in a video store back in like 1990, 91. The last 6 months was open. And then in the adult room, there was, it seems like there was, either a movie called Mickey Finn or Jenny Finn, or there was a star of one of those movies named Jenny Finn. I don't know, but so I kind of cracked up. But this is a horror title called Jenny Finn, Doom Isaiah. And I'm sitting here, and this was $2. Somebody keeps messaging me on there. I don't want to, I'll have to tell them here in a minute. So I'm sitting here and do this. But anyway, it's $2. It's by Mike Mignola. And actually, it's supposed to be some really cool horror, and I kind of dig the artwork, man. It's all black and white in there. It's got a very organic feel to it. It's great stuff. Definitely an era piece. Okay. Another thing that I got is Incorruptible. Okay. Mark Waid through Boom Studios. This was also $1.99, brand new, but this is volume 1 of Incorruptible. Okay. Mark Waid came up with a story called Irredeemable, a series that was going on. See if I can find a picture of it. And Irredeemable was the story of the Plutonian. And what you want to do is you want to think about Superman. Superman's living, the Plutonian is Superman, okay? So Superman finally snaps. He's lived his whole life of having to be very, very, very careful not to hurt people, walking through a world of cardboard and doing this and do that. And one day he finally freaking snaps and he just raises hell on the whole planet. Okay, so that's called Irredeemable. Okay, see if we can get that. So that's that book. There it is, right there. See the one with the guy flying off in space? That's Irredeemable. Well, the counterpoint, another book that he got that kind of tied into that story, kind of a flip side, was Incorruptible. And this is the story of Max Damage, who was like this villain who was just scum. You know, he slept with underage girls and he just robbed banks and had gangs and all this stuff. And from what I can gather about his power is that the longer he stays awake, the more invulnerable and stronger he gets. So if you wanted to kill this guy, you'd have to catch him within that first, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. I'm sure they said the actual time limit in the book somewhere. You have to catch him when he first wakes up, because when he rests, his power dies down, and that's when he's able to get up and shave and everything before he starts getting hard again. And that's how they put it, getting hard. So, yeah, this is Incorruptible. I want to check it out. So this is the first 4 to 6 issues of Incorruptible, probably 4. And you can tell it kind of plugs into Irredeemable. But this is the thing where when he saw the Plutonian / Superman go off, he compared it to seeing, he looked into the face of God, and he turns his life around and starts becoming the good guy. So he's incorruptible. And I kind of like this issue 23, which I don't know why I pulled this out and stuff like that. But you had the Plutonian and Max Damage. I hope that's his name. Max Damage fighting. And the Plutonian looks at him and is like, "You've really changed." He's like, "Yeah." And he stops the fight and wants to shake the Plutonian's hand for turning his life around. So, and it pisses him off, you know. So that was, you know, $1.99. Another thing that was $1.99 here is Elric's The Balance Lost. It's Michael Moorcock's, and usually Michael Moorcock has a hand in writing this and stuff. But this is volume 2 of I don't know if it was a 12-issue series or stuff, but I usually pick up all the Elric stuff I can. You know, the Stormbringer, the demon sword that feeds the albino, like, and it's like comparable to like heroin and stuff, and the magic, and just a very heavy metal feel to it. And this is some of the best art that I have seen anybody do on the Elric stuff. And it pulls in Corm. And if you're a fan of that Michael Moorcock stuff, man, this is probably for you. You know, I mean, just some Lovecraftian sort of feeling fantasy creatures, you know, kind of cool. Yeah, just some good stuff. That was $1.99. Then I picked this up a month ago. Should have put it in my last haul. This is $1.99. This apparently was some kind of mini-series by a bunch of indie artists about CBGB's, home of punk music, home of Blondie, Talking Heads, just a staple of the 70s, man. Great stuff in here. And I've yet to read it, but it's, I don't know, there's a few names in here it seems like I recognized. Karen Gillan. That's not the one, though. QZ Susie written, Mr. Sheldon, yeah, whatever. Kelly Sue, I don't know. Some of them sounded. Then I was really happy to get this. This was like a $40 book that I got for $4. You know, it's a visual history of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, it's just like a history of the, you know, you've seen books like this before, I've seen, man, but this is just like them through the ages and all kinds of pictures they had around. Just a great hardback little book for some nostalgia. All right, trying to think where I got this. Ended up going to North Carolina last month with some friends. I don't know if I put this in the video or not, man, but I'm a fan of Dan Barreton's artwork. You know, he has this very pulpy feel where it feels like it's right out of the mid 60s, and he understands the color palette. This guy's done, you know, an odd, you know, issue of Punisher here, or, you know, you think of this guy, you think of Halloween. They came out with a book, a bunch of characters called The Nocturnals, and this is a collected edition. I think I got this for $5, man, but this is The Dark Forever. And I actually posted this on my Facebook and Instagram or something when I first got it, because I was so glad to finally check this out. You know, it just feels like Halloween, you know. But anyway, he sat there and I told him how hard it was to get it, this book around here. I've never really got to see these things. It just has never popped up. And he asked where this was at, so I told him, you know, didn't really say too much. But that seems really good. About to sneeze. I got all these comic books out. I've been redoing the shelves. I got dust flying around here, you know. So there may be a random sneeze. And these, I can't believe these are popping up. I found a couple last month, and then I found 2 more of these through Boom Studios. That's number 6 and 7. But this is really fascinating. And this is stuff like where I was going to Heroes Con, I was getting stuff that only I feel like I would read. This was like stuff that I was interested in. But they got together and they did Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. And this is what Blade Runner with Harrison Ford was based on and everything like that. But this is an actual adaptation of the book. They actually just take, you know, the prose out of the book and then cut it up into panels. And like if somebody is speaking in the book, that character is speaking in the book. It's just an outright, flat out, faithful adaptation. You know, and these were actually hard to find for a while. So here's number 6 and number 7. I found a couple last month, and they used to be kind of pricey. So, you know, I mean, it's died down. Just other stuff I was going to get. Here's Madman Jam number 2. You know, just a bunch of artists. I got Madman Jam number 1, so this is finally complete, you know, and I like to say about that. And then something, I'm a big Mike Ploog fan. Mike Ploog was a Marvel artist in the 70s. He did like Frankenstein Monster number 1 and a couple issues. He did The Werewolf by Night. He went on and did some stuff for Ralph Bakshi, and the guys worked in movies, and he's coming back and forth. This is a fantastic artist, one of my favorite. He did some Man Thing. I mean, just look up who Mike Ploog is, you know, Ploog, just a great guy and all this stuff. But apparently in the Image in the 2000s, Mike Ploog got with James DeMantis and they did the Stardust Kid about this fawn, or if that's what you call it, this pan creature. I had no idea, and I got this for $1. Some of these books, I think I'm in the books now that I was at work, had me up in Winchester, up in Northern Virginia, about 5 hours away. I saw a comic book shop, again, near where I was eating. And I walked over there and went through some of their boxes and stuff, had a bunch of dollar boxes and stuff, man. But I got this, and I think something happened. There's a page in there ripped or something like that. But yeah, I had no idea this miniseries came out. So these were $1 also here. And anyway, I just picked these up. Here's you know, Richard Corbin's solo through DC, where DC would just have an artist come in. They can pretty much do whatever they want and fill it up. Corbin's, you know, I got this What If because I love the story of Planet Hulk, and I loved World War Hulk when it came out. After it followed that up, and honestly, I think World War Hulk was the last great thing that Marvel really did in my eyes. You know, I don't know, felt like Marvel, but this is you know, What If featuring. I think this is a What If the Hulk had died instead of this lady. This ended up being Hulk's wife on another planet. Okay, and then Hero number 1. Like I said, I need 1 issue of this, and I had the entire, I think, 22 issue run. This was just a fantastic series. You can get through the first 4 issues with its freaking emo character that you can give a shit less or not if he slit his wrist or not. Then they kind of move on, but it's a great take on Dial H for Hero. It was really good. Got me another Elric, The Balanced Lost number 3 here. It was awesome. Just picking those up when I can. Now, as you notice, I have in my hands Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., number 4, with an iconic freaking pop art, just a classic cover by Stranko, and this is signed by Stranko. So in my travels, I kind of like getting homage to this. Here's the Arthur Pseudonym, also signed by him, Arthur Pseudonym, you know, with Marvel Zombies, you know, doing the mock zombie cover of this. You know, so he signed that. So when I ran across these for $1, I ended up buying them. Here's an Iron Man variant cover, harking back to that. And I've had this once or twice, but I think I've sold it now. I'm going to keep this one. I've got the Wolverine Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. issue here. I think Mark Miller wrote this one. Who knows? Yeah, Miller and Romita Jr., the kick-ass guys. Yeah, so I got that. So I've got all of those. Don't know if I showed some of this stuff, so I'll just go through it real quick. I now should have every issue and annual of the All-Star Squadron with number 20 here. I'll upgrade this one day. Fantastic Jerry Ordway art, little post-apocalyptic vision in there. I kind of sort of have some regret about going to these conventions and having artists sign the covers. I should have just had them open the book and sign inside. So I'm starting to, when I run across these, I'm replacing some of the books that I've had signed. I had already had them sign this one. So now I have a clean mint copy that I found for like $1. And I'm trying to remember where I found it. I couldn't believe that was just in there. I mean, this is 80s art Adam on the X-Men, but this is one of the New Mutants got to graduate and become X-Men. And the X-Men were X-Babies. I found a couple months ago, I found Beast of Metropolis, Superman 666. I think I should have Batman 666 around here if I didn't sell it. And then, like I said, I don't know if I saw this or not. This is a big shout out to Tim Merritt. I took a chance and got Concrete Land and Sea. I think this is a reprinting of the first 2 stories of Concrete by Paul Chadwick. Very soft stuff. Justice League. I don't know why I got this. I'm just a Justice League fan. 40 cents. Issue 164 was a Tana before they put the bug on her head. Gave her that costume. You know what I'm talking about. You know. I was real happy to find this. I know I have run across collectors, and I've heard there's more out there where they're not really comic book collectors, but they just collect Supergirl. You know, they love that Bronze Age, Silver Age stuff of Supergirl, and they all try to collect it. So that's probably seriously that's one of the reasons I don't see a lot of these in good shape in the wild and stuff. But yeah, I got this one. This is Supergirl #8 from the Bronze Age, the Medusa issue, where she's turning our superheroes into stone and she can't help it. You know. And I got a high grade copy of this at Heroes Con. But before I went to Heroes Con, I saw this. I've been looking for this book off and on forever. And it's just because it's got the Joker in it that, you know, you can't find it. I don't really think it's worth that much stuff, but finding it in the wild, it's just not been done. But this is Action Comics 770, a beat up copy. It's the double-sized final issue of Emperor Joker that was just fantastic. Joker more or less got the power of Mixias you know, and messed with everybody. And the last thing I'm going to show, because I don't remember if I did it, but I need to really get all of these. This was sold for $1. This is a Grant Morrison tale called Joe the Barbarian. And I honestly have no idea what it's about. So, but it's Grant Morrison. I'll give it a shot. All right, guys, that's the live show. Just kind of wanted to get that out there so I can start putting this stuff up, get these shelves rearranged, getting some stuff put up. I've actually repaired the shelves a little bit. Yeah, that's about it, man. So, you know, you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Later.